In the shadowy realms of Estes Park, Colorado, less than a hairbreadth from the eerie expanse of the Rocky Mountain National Park, stands the Stanley Hotel. This ominous structure is renowned not merely for its stunning locale, but for the bone-chilling tales etched into its walls, those immortalized by Stanley Kubrick's terrifying masterpiece The Shining. Its spectral history traces back to the early 1900s when its founder, Freeman Oscar Stanley, convalescing from tuberculosis, felt a dark whisper of the Rocky Mountain air promising salvation. In 1907, Stanley, drawn by an inexplicable force, resolved to raise a luxury hotel amidst the ominous peaks. Supplied amply with timber from the haunting wilderness of the national park, Stanley began his uncanny endeavor. Yet, since its completion, visitors have been gripped by an unspeakable dread, reporting mysterious disturbances caused by unseen presences. Stephen King, the master of horror, stayed in room 217 in the 1970s. The palpable terror he experienced there stirred within him the demonic inspiration for the unholy narrative that would eventually form the backbone of Kubrick's horror classic. A Rocky Mountain PBS minidoc unveils the spectral secrets behind the world-infamous Stanley Hotel, the breeding ground for countless terrifying ghost stories. King recounted an experience so terrifying it had him trembling in paranoia. As the story goes, he was jolted awake from a terrifying nightmare during his stay, an incident that fed his imagination to pen The Shining. The infamous Room 217 morphed into Room 237 in the film, a point of incessant debate among Kubrick enthusiasts, rumored to be haunted by the specter of a former housekeeper. No accounts of spectral twins or decomposing crones have been recorded. However, the ghostly phenomena reported are just as unsettling. Guests have spoken of hearing disembodied laughter of children, echoing footsteps along the fourth-floor corridors, doors slamming shut of their own accord, flickering lights, and chilling drops in temperature. There have been spine-chilling accounts of spectral piano music filling the air, with not a soul present near the instrument. It is said that Flora Stanley, the founder's wife, a passionate pianist, continues her nocturnal recitals, seemingly oblivious to the fact that she's been dead for over 8 decades. In room 428, guests have reported the apparition of a cowboy materializing at their bed's foot, adding another layer to the hotel's spectral tapestry. And the fact that guests can still hear the spectral melodies of Flora Stanley's piano only adds to the unsettling charm of this haunted edifice. Of late, the Stanley Hotel has played host to the annual Shining Ball, horror-themed events, film festivals, and more. If you dare to brave a night here, the fourth floor, and the hauntingly iconic Room 217 eagerly await your presence. Let's step back in time to 1840 when Sarah Winchester was born into a world of privilege. She was married to William Wirt Winchester, the inheritor of the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. However, her seemingly perfect world was shattered when her husband and their infant daughter passed away. Desperate for answers, Sarah sought counsel from a spiritual medium who told her that her tragedies were the result of vengeful spirits. These were no ordinary spirits, but those of the people who had been killed by the very Winchester rifles her husband's company produced. As per the medium's advice, Sarah believed the only way to safeguard herself from these malevolent entities was to build a mansion big enough to ward them off. With an inherited wealth of over $500 million in today's money and a stake in the company, Sarah had the means to put this plan into action. Leaving her hometown of New Haven, Connecticut, she embarked on her journey to sunny San Jose, California, where the creation of her fortress against the supernatural began. Winchester Mystery House, a name that sends a shiver down your spine, stood majestically with its southern face visible for all to behold. Sarah Winchester's objective, as told, was to create a house intricate enough to bewilder the spirits. The builders reported daily seances, where she tried to communicate with benevolent spirits and seek their guidance to placate the vengeful ones. This colossal task took 38 years to complete. The mansion, a labyrinth in itself, consisted of 160 rooms, 2,000 doors, 10,000 windows, 47 staircases, 47 fireplaces, 13 bathrooms, and 6 kitchens. It was filled with secret passageways, inverted columns, sealed rooms, and staircases that led to nowhere. In this world of illusion, even the bathrooms played their part, with only 1 out of 13 being functional. As you delve deeper into the annals of history, you'll find images of this grand structure from the 19th century. Towering with 7 stories, it was an architectural marvel of its time. The 1904 earthquake caused some damage, resulting in the removal of the top 3 floors. But thanks to its floating foundation, the house itself survived. After Sarah Winchester's death in September 1922, the legend surrounding the Winchester Mystery house only grew stronger. Her niece, Marian, inherited all her possessions and subsequently auctioned them off. Just 5 months post Sarah's demise, her mysterious abode was open to the public. And even after a century, in 2016, a secret attic was unearthed. The ancient ram inn, established in 1145 as a priest's residence, the inn stands as not only the most aged structure in the town but also at the exact intersection of 2 ley lines. These are considered supernatural lines that form a significant alignment, connecting various world monuments. Some speculate that the inn's unique placement on these ley lines, which incidentally lead directly to England's renowned Stonehenge, imbues it with potent spiritual energy. With the addition of a 5,000-year-old pagan burial ground beneath its very foundation, the ancient ram inn has all the ingredients to be a hotspot for paranormal activity. The inn's strategic placement at the junction of 2 ley lines that align with Stonehenge is believed to contribute to its dark energy. In its early days, the inn provided lodging for slaves and workers tasked with the construction of the nearby St. Mary's Church. Water streams surrounding the inn had to be diverted to accommodate the church's site, an act many attribute to the release of dark energies in the area. Adding to its chilling legacy, it's believed that the inn is haunted by a witch who sought refuge there in the 1500s, only to be apprehended and executed. Now known as the Witch's Room, her erstwhile dwelling is said to be haunted by her restless spirit. John Humphreys, the inn's only proprietor and resident, recounts his first brush with the inn's spectral inhabitants on his inaugural night as the owner in 1968. He narrates a spine-chilling episode where a demonic entity yanked him from his slumber, dragging him across the room. John Humphreys shares his experiences with the inn's alleged hauntings. In his 80s now, Humphreys has dedicated the remainder of his life to preserving the inn, defying the instinct to flee that most would have succumbed to long ago. It's heartrending that Humphreys' wife and 3 daughters opted to leave, resulting in his solitary life on the property. In addition to these eerie accounts, Humphreys claims to have unearthed proof of ritualistic sacrifices and devil worship under the staircase, including the gruesome discovery of children's bones pierced with daggers. Should any of these reports hold true, the most spine-chilling part of this ghostly tale might indeed be Humphreys' unyielding determination to remain within the inn's haunted walls.